Okay, so today the topic of our discussion is aerodynamics. So I hope that all our aeronautical engineering students they are well aware of this particular topic which is called aerodynamics, because without this knowledge of aerodynamics, uh, it's not possible to understand that how an object, especially when we are talking about an aircraft or an aeroplane, it flies in air. So this aerodynamics plays a major role, as it is written clearly here that it is buoyancy, okay, and lift. So that particular part we are going to discuss especially in detail. So that lift today I will not be discussing more. I will be discussing in my next class. But this aerodynamics part I am going to discuss today. Okay, so let us go for discussion on this aerodynamics. As you can see that I have written the aerodynamic forces. One is pressure and another one is shear stress. So if any object is there, so we do have generally an object which is like aerofoil surface. So we aeronautical engineering people call it as aerofoil surface. So that aerofoil surface is specially designed and is meant to use in aeroplane. Okay. Whereas we do find that the top surface or the upper surface used to have more camber. This is called camber, and the bottom surface will be not completely flat, but it will be similar to flat surface. So this particular design, which is called as aerofoil is actually used in the wing surface of an aircraft. That's why wings are called as lift generating surfaces. Lift generating surfaces. So actually the wings are the main lift generating surfaces which makes the aircraft to fly in air. If there will not be any wing, then certainly the aircraft will not be flying. Right. So I was talking about the object. So this is the object which is you can say subjected to, this particular object is subjected to two types of forces when it moves in air, or when air moves over it, or when the object moves in air. So that's why the name is aero and dynamic. Aero means air and dynamic means motion. So when the air is in motion, it exerts two type of forces on an object, and those forces are created mainly due to the pressure which is distributed over the surface and which used to be normal over the surface. Okay, which used to be normal over the surface. The pressure distribution takes place normal to the surface. So we can say normal to the surface. Pressure distribution. Now another one is shear stress. So that also I will show. This shear stress distribution over the surface of an object will be tangential to the surface. Okay, will be tangential to the surface. So these two types of forces actually are exerted on an object, or we can say that the object which is in motion is being subjected to two types of forces, and the forces which are created by pressure force, which is you can say normal to the surface, the distribution used to be normal to the surface, and shear stress are tangential to the surface. So tangential. to the surface. So these two types of you can say forces are acting on a body. Right. Now very important term, that is called buoyancy. So most of our 12th standard students, they would be also remembering that they have already studied when we talked about fluid mechanics. Fluid mechanics. So buoyancy is also a type of force. A type of force, and which is exerted due to fluid. Now Archimedes principle, here it is given that Archimedes principle. So what actually is Archimedes principle? Archimedes principle, it states that the force or the buoyant force exerted on an object, here I have given one circular object, okay, or spherical object, okay. So it states that the buoyant force exerted on an object by the fluid. So fluid consists of both liquid and gas, okay, both liquid and gas. So the buoyant force exerted on an object by the fluid is equal to the weight of the fluid displaced by the object. Suppose this object, when it will be placed in water, then it will, due to its weight, okay, it will be displacing some fluid. So that volume of fluid which is being displaced by this object, so whatever that weight will be there, that weight will be equal to the buoyant force. Buoyant force means the force which is acting vertically upward on the particular object. Okay. So this is called Archimedes principle. And on the basis of this Archimedes principle, you can say the aeroplane fly, the ships, it is moving in water, okay, and it is floating, it is not sinking. So that is the main reason this Archimedes principle we used to remember. Now let us go for proving of this Archimedes principle mathematically. We will prove this Archimedes principle mathematically regarding this buoyant force. Now suppose this shell element is placed in fluid, due to which a vertical force, you can say P0 or pressure. So P0 is the pressure. A vertical pressure is being exerted by the fluid, okay, which is we have denoted as P0, and suppose I am making it as diametrically opposite, okay, so it will be completely vertical. Now we need to find pressure on any part of this shell element, pressure on any part. So how we will be able to find? So this particular object is floating or it is above the surface, okay, above the surface of water or on the surface of water, it may be, right? So if it has to be on the surface of water or above the surface of water, the pressure which is working on all other parts of the element should be less than P0, should be less than P0. So we can say that the pressure on any part of the shell element is equal to P0 minus rho 0 z0 r minus r cos theta. Rho 0 is density of the fluid and this density remains constant. Z0 we are already aware, this is acceleration due to gravity, acceleration due to gravity, and r is the radius, and vertically its weight. Okay, so the weight of the body or the object mg is acting vertically downwards, and this theta is the angle between this radius vector r and the weight which is acting downward, that is mg. So if suppose we want to find the pressure on this particular point, so it will be P0 minus rho 0 Z0 R minus R cos theta. Okay. So this we can say the P exerted on any part of the element, right? We need to find the vertical force at this particular point. Okay, suppose it is O and this is A and this is B. Okay, let us find out. Right. So now as I told that at any point the pressure is P0 minus rho 0 Z0 R minus R cos theta. Okay, at this particular point, and the weight of the body is acting downward, that is mg. So now vertical force dF will be equal to, so the P which is acting on any part of the element, so P dA, vertical force will be dF, okay, is equal to P dA. Now dA we need to find out. So suppose we take any small part of the element having radius r sin theta and width r d theta. So we have taken any small part of the ring element. So this is just like ring element which is like a sphere. Okay, having its radius as r sin theta and width r d theta. Then in that case dA of the element will become circumference of the element. Which element? This is small element. Okay, the small element into width of the element. So this will be giving to us as dA. Circumference is what? 2 pi r. So here radius is what? R sin theta. So 2 pi r sin theta into r d theta, which is the width of the element, and it will become 2 pi r square sin theta d theta. So dA has become 2 pi r square sin theta d theta. Okay, right. Next. So now the vertical force we need to find. Okay, vertical force Fv, and this vertical force will be dF cos theta. dF cos theta. Then dF is what? P dA cos theta. P already we have found out. So it is P0 minus rho 0 Z0, okay, R minus R cos theta. So this will be there, P into cos theta into dA already we have found as 2 pi r square sin theta d theta. So now we need to integrate, we need to find complete, you can say, vertical force, as we are going to uh, prove mathematically that the buoyant force which is acting, or the vertical force which is acting on this object, will be equal to the weight of the fluid displaced. Okay, so that part we are going to discuss now, and we need to integrate. So for that, as I told, that we will be finding, so this part you can say that P0 is acting, and this is mg is acting, and diametrically opposite. So from 0, angle 0, 0 to pi we need to find out. So we are going to integrate now. So Fv, total vertical force, will become integration of this complete expression. Okay, so P0 minus rho 0 z0 r minus r cos theta, and this will be in bracket. Further, 2 pi r square we can write outside, 2 pi r square, and then cos theta sin theta d theta, and this will be a definite integral from 0 to pi. Let us solve this definite integral in next slide. Okay, so we are going to solve now. So as we have told, Fb is equal to 2 pi r square and 0 to pi, and P0 minus r0 z0 r minus r cos theta in bracket, then cos theta sin theta d theta. Okay, right. Now here I will tell you, so what we will be getting, we will be getting here, okay, let me solve. So we have got this 2 pi r square, okay, 2 pi r square, let us keep it outside only, and with this cos theta and sin theta, so P0 minus R0 G0, okay, 0, okay, so it is also R minus R, R0 minus R0 cos theta we can write. R0 is what? Radius, okay, R0, okay, so here also 2 pi R square, so this also we can write 2 pi R0 square, right? So 2 pi r square, or simply we can write, not, sorry, it is not r0, it is rho 0, sorry, it is r only, it is r only, okay, 1 minute, sorry, we will not make it as, so it is r only, okay, right, it is r only we are writing. So 2 pi r square, it is rho 0 is the density, okay, rho 0 g0 r minus r cos theta. Okay, so 2 pi r square P0 minus rho 0 z0 r, and this cos theta sin theta. Okay, so this one will go outside, and we are having 0 to pi. So what it will be there? Simply cos theta sin theta, cos theta sin theta d theta. Okay, this is one part, right? And then in between minus and minus, it is becoming plus. Okay, so plus again 2 pi r square, and it is rho 0 z0 r, here cos theta sin theta, so this cos theta and cos theta, so it will become cos square sin theta d theta. Okay, so in this way our integration will come. right? Okay. Now further I will tell you integration basics. So if I is equal to cos theta sin theta d theta, so we can go for substitution, like sin theta is equal to y, then it will become cos theta d theta is equal to dy. Okay. Further if we are going for, then here it is becoming cos theta d theta will become dy, so it is y dy, and it is giving you y square by 2. Okay, y square by 2 plus c, but it is a definite integral which is 0 to pi is there. Okay, so in that case y square plus c, it means y is what, sin theta, so we can go for sin square theta by 2 and divided by, not divided by, it is 0 to pi is the angle. Okay, right. So in that case what we are finding, we are finding that sin square pi minus sin square 0 divided by 2. Okay, so sin square pi is also 0, sin square 0 angle, so it is not theta, it is angle 0, it is also 0, so 0 divided by 2, it will become 0 only. So this part cos theta sin theta, this part will become 0 completely. Okay, it will become 0, the first part will become 0. Okay, second integration part I will tell you here. Okay, so I is equal to again cos square theta sin theta d theta is there. So here similarly sin theta is equal to y if we are taking. Okay, so it will become cos theta, uh, here we must take cos theta, not sin theta. Okay, so this part I will be now rubbing it. Right. So here we will go for cos theta is equal to y, and it will be giving us as minus sin theta d theta is equal to dy. Okay, it means I is equal to minus, so cos square theta we can make it as y square, and sin theta d theta has become dy. This minus is there, minus sin theta d theta, and it will be giving us as minus y square by, sorry, y to the power cube by 3. As it is also a definite integral 0 to pi. Okay, so further what we have got, uh, we have got here, okay, y cube is what, minus cos cube theta by 3. Okay, so in next slide we will solve. So I is equal to minus cos cube theta by 3, and this is what you can say 0 to pi, right? Okay, so now minus and cos, we will write minus inside only, right, minus cos cube pi by 3 minus, so minus and minus will make it as plus, and cos cube 0 by 3. Okay, so it is giving to us as minus cos cube pi, so cos pi will be minus 1, cos 0 will be 1. Okay, so it is giving to us as cos cube pi also will be equal to minus 1 only, pi will be equal to minus 1 only. Okay, so minus minus it will become plus, so 1 by 3 plus 1 by 3, it is giving us as 2 by 3, right? Now the original expression was fv equal to, so that first part of the expression has become 0, So 2 pi r square and p0 minus rho 0 z0 r minus r cos theta. Okay, so r minus r cos theta will not be there. We have utilized it. Okay, r with this and integration of cos theta sin theta d theta. So this part has become 0. So it has become 0, right? Second part was there, that is 2 pi r square and rho 0 z0 r into, so what we have got? We have got here 2 by 3. 2 by 3. So this has given to us as 2 into 2 4, 4 by 3 pi r cube rho 0 z0. Okay, let us see in next slide properly. Okay, so now we have seen that total vertical force has become 4 by 3 pi r cube rho 0 z0. Okay, and the slide was there. So the weight is putting downward, and at any point the pressure is P minus rho 0 g0 r minus r cos theta. Okay, let us write it properly. P was P0 minus, and P0 was what? Vertical force, vertical pressure, P0. So rho 0 z0 r minus r cos theta. Okay, theta was this angle. So we have got total vertical force Fv is equal to 4 by 3 pi r cube rho 0 z0. So what we have found? We have found that this 4 by 3 pi r cube is the volume of the fluid displaced. Okay, right, and we know that density rho 0 is equal to mass by volume. So mass is equal to rho 0 into volume. So this volume into rho 0 is giving us as mass of the fluid displaced. Okay, m0 and g0. So thereby we are getting it as weight of the fluid. Weight of the fluid displaced. Okay, weight of the fluid, which we can write it as W V, or you can say WF, weight of the fluid, and weight of the object is mg. Weight of the shell is mg. Okay, now further. Okay, 1 minute. Right. So here itself I will tell that how that lift is. So now when weight of the fluid displaced, which is giving us as vertical force, right? So if that vertical force FB is greater than this mg, or weight of the solid, then there will be a positive lift. There will be a positive lift. When this Fv is less than weight of the body, then there will be a negative lift. And when Fv is equal to Ws, so you can say that the body is neutrally buoyant. Neutrally buoyant. It will be just floating. Okay. So now we have seen that how Archimedes' principle is proved here mathematically, and how the lift is generated. So Archimedes' principle has told that the buoyant force exerted on the body due to the fluid is equal to the weight of the fluid displaced by the body, equal to the weight of the fluid displaced by the body. So this was the reason this Archimedes principle was derived mathematically, and it is proved mathematically, and all aircraft, ships, the you can say vehicles which are moving in air independently without any mechanical support from ground, it depends on this Archimedes principle, the very first lift generation. Okay, and in my next video I will be telling that how lift is generated on wing surface, especially wing surface, how that aerofoil surfaces is acting, what will be chord and what is the mean camber line, everything I will be discussing in my next video. So thank you very much, and I feel that the students have understood Archimedes principle, Archimedes principle in my today's video, and an idea they would have got that what actually is required to design a surface or an object which will be moving in air, and what will be the basis. So the basis will be Archimedes principle, and we need to see that how much its weight is there. Okay, so the more lighter a body, so more it will be prompt to fly in air. That is the main principle followed in aerospace engineering. Okay, so thank you very much